Hi everyone, welcome to the new episode of Peter's English podcast. This episode will be very funny because I'm not prepared. It Don't laugh. It will be very funny because I want to practice my speaking skills in English. We can start right now. This new episode will be about very interesting topic. I think the impact of technology on language learning. In the past, learning English learning wasn't very interesting and fun. You have to sit in the traditional classroom with other schoolmates. There were a lot of people in the classroom. There was one English teacher, and you have to use English learn book, and you had to listen very boring English records. There weren't very records. There weren't very funny. This English records were very boring. Nobody want to learn English, but in today's time, in the present, you can learn English with very interesting way. I want to tell you how you can learn English with current technology without traveling to the other country. My English learning way is very interesting, I think. At first, I was buying English grammar book, and I was learning English with this English grammar book. I was doing English grammar exercises. It was very boring, but in the next year I was discovering that the best way how to learn English is using English podcasts that are very funny, very interesting, and English podcasts use English podcasts use English language that people use in the street. My favorite English podcasts are Luke's English podcasts, All Ears English podcasts, and Speak English podcast.com with Georgiana. Luke's English podcast is very interesting English podcast. This podcast uses and teaches real British English. Luke is an English teacher from London, from the UK. He teaches real British English with humor and fun. He is a comedian, and he is an English teacher. The second is Speak English podcast.com with Georgiana. Georgiana is very beautiful and attractive English teacher from the United States. She teaches American English with humor and fun. The third is All Ears English podcast. This is an American English podcast. You can listen to real natural English conversation between English native speakers. It's very funny and good English podcast. Yes, of course, there are a lot of very good English podcasts, and the next way how to listen to this English podcast is using English podcast app. There are a lot of very interesting and good English very good podcast app for listening to English podcast. I'm using very good English very good podcast app. With that you can create your own transcript. You can record English sentences, and this podcast app you can find on Android or on iPhone. It's called Snipped. It's very good. It's very good podcast app and very funny. You have to listen to English podcasts every day. You have to listen to topics that are interesting and funny for you, of course. But I think my favorite English podcasts are very good, interesting and funny. But you can use different English podcasts, of course. But you have to listen to English podcasts that are funny and interesting for you. The next important thing is that you have to train your speaking skills. You can use the app chatgbt. Chatgpt is a virtual intelligence software that can be very good English teacher. You can chat with ChatGPT. ChatGPT can be your very good English teacher that can repair your English, your grammar mistakes. ChatGPT can be your best friend. ChatGPT can help you with when you have some problems, or you can chat with yourself thanks to method self-talk. Self-talk is the next very good method how to improve your speaking skills in English. You have to speak with yourself every day in every situation, or you can chat with yourself near your mirror. You can chat with yourself about everything. It's your opinion, and you have to train your reading skills. You have to choose books in English that are interesting for you. But I want to recommend you audiobooks. You can listen to audiobooks in English that are very interesting, and you can read in the same time. This when you are listening audiobooks, and yes, of course, you have to practice your vocabulary. The best method how to practice your vocabulary is using apps. I use Duocard. Duocard is very good app for learning vocabulary. but of course you have to pay for this, and free option is Anki. Anki is very good free app. You can write every words to this application, and you can practice your vocabulary, and you have to practice your writing. You can write your you can write your own diary about your life. You can write fairy tales. You can write about everything. You can write a letter to your friend. But I recommend you to write fairy tales that are very interesting for you, and you can create your own English podcast in English that you can publish on a hosting app that can publish your English podcast everywhere. I was creating my own Peter's English podcast on Anchor. That is the app. Spotify for podcasters is a free option how to publish your English podcast. This English podcast is a very good way how to practice your speaking skills in English. You can create your own community. You can speak. You can you can talk with your community, and you can create a very good community. But in my case, I don't have any community, but I want to have my own community, of course, because I'm looking for my own friends that who like learning English, and who want to improve their speaking skills in English. And of course, very good way how to improve your English is next option. I have my own English teacher. You can have your own English teacher, and this English teacher can really help you with your English. My English teacher has improved and has helped myself with my English. I want to thank my own English teacher for the help. Thank you very much, Katka. Thank you very much. You are the best English teacher in the world. English teacher can really help you with your English. You can practice with your English teacher every week, and you can find English teachers on Slovak websites or on italki. Italki is a very good website. In that you can find a lot of English teachers. It's a very good way how to improve your speaking skills in English. I'm talking for 14 minutes. Oh, I'm very good. That's very funny. I'm hope that I don't that I was telling you everything, and I think I was telling you, I've told you everything about my learning English. Oh, yes, of course. The most important thing is you have to think positive. You have to be positive, and because psychology is very important way for you. You have to trust yourself, and you have to be enthusiastic